Yeah, welcome to the Throstles Nest. Yeah, you might be slightly confused because if, like me, you saw it close, sadly, 15 years ago, thinking maybe that it would never ever open as a pub again, mercifully, we were all wrong. Today, January the 27th, 2023, the Throstles Nest has reopened, and it's, well, largely thanks to Michael Cooper, who's the landlord, Michael. Hello.
Hello.
Wow, what a job you've done.
Thank you. Well, me, not really. It's a lot of hard work's going on behind the scenes, but I'll certainly be judged for the hard work henceforth.
Yeah, it's a fantastic job you've done, seriously. I mean, the attention to detail in here, you know, it's dressed, but it's not overdone. It's a good, honest drinker's pub, isn't it, really? It's a wet pub. There's no food here, so you can come for a drink, which is great. But the interior is just so brilliantly appointed. How much work went into it?
Well, an incredible amount of work has gone into it. I'll have to, just to negate what you've said, there will be a food offering at some point in the near future.
Cool, that's good.
However, I totally agree. It is a very traditional pub. It's a big part of this is you know, sort of giving people a space where they can come, you know, enjoy a drink. And it's like a melting pot, big in the community. And a lot of work's gone into it, and a lot of hard work. As I said, behind the scenes, a lot of the tradespeople have put, you know, they're really talented, and you know, it's brought it, you know, back from the brink and reclaimed and restored.
Well, the furnishings are brilliant, aren't they? I mean, the seats are really comfortable. The woodwork in here is exquisite. It really is, and it feels like it hasn't just opened today. It feels like it's been here a long time, doesn't it? Yeah,
I mean, you're not the first person to say that. We had a bit of a soft launch last night where the other landlords from the Coldmore group were here and the tradespeople, so it was a bit of a show of gratitude, really. It was on the house from head office, if you like, and it was nice. Obviously, a lot of people seeing it for the first time, but a lot of people said, you know, they felt the warmth when they came in, and that it felt like it had been here, you know, it hadn't just opened. So yeah, that's kind of ticked a massive box for us, so we're happy with that.
Yeah, I think you've done a great job with it. I mean, I remember it in the old days. Somebody asked me earlier, in fact, it was the ale taster who we'll speak to in a few moments. He said to me, what was it like back in the days? I said, I can't remember, because it was so smoky and it was so, well, dark, that actually it was difficult to tell what the layout was, but it was a great pub. Yeah. It still is a great pub, isn't it?
Yeah, it's although it's like a very traditional pub, it's very modern pub at the same time. So it's very, so we've got like the pool table, darts board. Obviously we've got a great acoustics set up. So technically behind the scenes as well, there's a lot of work that's gone in. And then also, you know, it's been restored in a very sort of difficult climate, if you like, and for that they've, you know, had the opportunity to, you know, to fully insulate the building. We've even incorporated solar panels on the front roof, which, you know, you might miss, but they're there. And the idea is that we've put in the work to make it as ecologically viable, you know, in this climate, and that allows the business to operate, which ultimately allows to provide great value to the customer. So, you know, in terms of the relationship that we have with our suppliers is very good across the group, and that's a big part of it for Coldmore. So
what made you choose this pub, though? Because you were involved with the Beartown Brewery, over not too far away from where we are. What made you choose the Throstles? Because let's face it, it shut 15 years ago. It fell into disrepair. It was really dilapidated. I mean, it looked like a lost cause to most of us, but I mean, couldn't be further from the truth now, obviously. But what made you take on a project like that?
Well, it was almost consigned in the history books. There's no two ways about it. A lot of people are surprised as much as me. Now, yeah, I did work for Beartown Brewery. I haven't moved straight from Beartown Brewery. I left Beartown Brewery during lockdown, and that was a point for me where there was a lot of uncertainty in the trade. So I went and got a regular run-of-the-mill job, if you like. But the relationship that I had from working at Beartown Brewery ultimately put me in connection with Coldmore. And when I got wind that this was happening, because I knew of the credentials of the group, I was satisfied. I knew that obviously, and I'm from Congleton, so I knew that this was a big project. I knew that it'd be done right, and and I'd have a great, like I say, challenge,
Absolutely.
and so I quite like the prospect of challenging, and that, like I say, I put my interest in there, and thankfully, we've got this to this point now, really.
Well, you've come up trumps, Michael, let's face it. Just stay with us for a second, Michael. Let me introduce Councillor Margaret Gartside, who's you're the Mayor of Congleton Town Council, aren't you, Margaret? Yes. Sorry, I should be more respectful. Is it Your Honour or Your Worship?
No, Margaret will do.
I notice you've partaken of some of the beverages available in the pub list this lunchtime. What do you make of the place?
I think they've done a fantastic job. It's difficult to believe that kind of not long ago it was a ruin, because now it really looks great, and I love all the various artefacts they've done that they've obviously sourced to make it look more like a realistic pub.
Yes.
And the atmosphere and everything like that is great. The room sizes are small enough to feel cosy, and it just feels very welcoming. And I think it's great to have a new pub in the town. And we as a town council are certainly happy to promote it, and hope they will join our ale trail, which many of you will be familiar with, that we started last year because of our charter year.
Well, let's hope Michael and the team here do that. But you're right about the atmosphere in here. I mean, we can hear it in the background, can't we?
Yes.
It's lively, it's hubbub. It's come back to life, hasn't it?
Most definitely it has. And it is interesting that on their first day, the number of local people in here at a lunchtime is impressive. And let's hope they continue to come here and share the pleasure of being in this wonderful building.
Well, it's a real gem for this part of town. Buglawton ought to be proud of it, as well as you, Michael. But let's talk to, some people know him as Paul Boswell. But most people will know him as Benedict Goodale. Benedict, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
It's a strange name, Benedict Goodale. Just give us a brief history of who Benedict is and what he's been doing for the last 12 months.
Benedict Goodale is my nom de plume when I participate as Congleton's ale taster. I was appointed for the celebration year for the 750th anniversary of Congleton's charter, and my contract has actually been extended, which will run up to the Congleton Ale Festival, which we're now hopefully holding in October this year.
Yeah. Well, let's hope so. But you're the ale taster for the town, as you say, appointed for the 750th. You've got an extension, stay of execution, some might say. I suppose it depends on the quality of the ale. That's your job, Benedict. Your fundamental purpose here is to tell us what you think of the ale. You've got, roughly a third of a pint left. What is it, and what did it taste like?
Right. It tastes excellent. The clarity's there, head retention's there, and the other thing we've got here is we've got a great range on the bar. So what Michael's gone for, he's gone for local. We've got local brewers represented, Bollington Brewery, Red Willow Brewery, and the odd national with Draft Bass on tap. But also he's got a stout, he's got a draft cider, and 4 different ales for ale drinkers to choose from. Yeah. I've only sampled the first one, but come back to me mid-afternoon and I won't be able to comment on the others.
I think I might be in the same boat as you, to be honest. It is interesting, isn't it? This at the moment, Michael did say that there will be a food offer later. We'll talk to him about that in a moment. But for the time being, it's a great drinkers' pub. I mean, I wouldn't expect this place to be like it was in the old days, and let's face it was a bit rough and ready. Back in 30 years ago. But it's nothing like that now, is it? It's a much more civilised place, isn't it?
I think what they've gone for is, in resurrecting this phoenix from the ashes, they've combined quality and put this pub right in the heart of its community. There's offers on here for drinkers, there's facilities for pool and an outside area, and also the quality of the furnishings mean it's a comfortable place to chat with your friends, meet people, and just enjoy the real traditional pub atmosphere that many of us pine for, that has long gone in so many corporate offerings across the country.
Well, let's introduce a local. It's Heather Pearce. just happens to be one of my colleagues in the Congleton Independent Group, but pure coincidence that we're both here today, I think, Heather. Now, one of your other interests, of course, is, and I don't want anybody to get the wrong impression, but you like a good ale, don't you?
I do love a good ale, and in fact I come from a history of ale brewers. My mum mashed her own ale in a preserving pan in the 70s and 80s, and she loves drinking, and has always. My dad's a member of CAMRA, and so I've grown up with the awareness about good beer and community. And how drinking beer together and being in a local pub can develop that community. Of course, when I was a child, I wasn't allowed in a pub. But obviously now things are much different. There's no smoking in pubs, and it's a family atmosphere here, which is why it's just so exciting to come and to see this new pub, an old pub, reinvigorated, opened up, and to know that in this day and age when lots of pubs are closing because of the economic crisis and the cost of electricity, that this pub is open. It's run by a small business that has lots of pubs that they support, and the fact they put solar panels on the roof to help reduce the cost means that this pub has got a chance to survive and compete. And the fact that it's run by a young family who are going to be part of the community, people can walk here, they can share fun times together, just couldn't be better, really.
See, that's the difference between us, Heather. You say that you weren't allowed in a pub as a child. Where I grew up, if you weren't pouring your own pints by the time you were 7, then really you weren't part of the community. But in all seriousness, you're right about the community aspect of this. The Throstles, no matter what its reputation was in the past, I mean, it's a much better place now, let's face it. But even back then, it was still a focus of the community, wasn't it? And it was a big loss when it went.
Absolutely. We need places for community to thrive. Unless we have these community spaces, we're not going to be able to meet in person. We don't want to all be online. We don't want to be at home opening our tins of lager. We want to be out and enjoying people's company, and we want our local towns to be living and the people around to be out and enjoying each other's company. So, yeah.
Okay. Well, Michael, that sounds like a 10 out of 10 at least. The locals like it. The ale taster adores it, and our number one citizen here in the town, Councillor Margaret Gartside, can't sing your praises highly enough. You must be quite pleased about that.
Yeah,
proud, I would say.
Oh, absolutely. I'll say that it's all, a lot of what we said is it's at the heart really of what it's about, and time will tell in the long run, and what you can be sure of is that we're here, and we're here to sort of give it a good shot, and welcome every man and his dog,
and as you say, and the dogs as well. Oh, yeah. And as you said earlier, the prospect of food is on the horizon. Benedict mentioned the ale trail. Is it something you'd consider being part of?
Well, absolutely. We've talked briefly with Margaret just now that we're going to have a digital representation. Cool. Obviously, the leaflet's been printed, and it won't be a physical amendment just yet. But yeah, we want to be a part of that. And there's like we said before, there's loads of great pubs in the area. And like I say, if we can just get people out, and like Heather just said, people. Get people socialising again, then everyone can be a part of it, and the whole town can benefit together. But yeah, back to the food, because why not? We've got, I'd say, big ambition to do food. I can't really put a pinpoint on it, but we've got a rooftop terrace, which is a nice feature, and we can serve straight out onto there, on a balmy, lovely. Summer night.
I've got to say, Michael, it sounds like it's going to be fabulous, and you have done a brilliant job. Yeah. So you talked about digital, you talked about sustainable, but also you've not lost any of the warmth and community that this pub is and should be. So absolutely. From my point of view, as a regular in the old days, congratulations, it's miles better than it used to be. Thank you very much for your time today, Michael. Same to Heather Pearce. And one last word, I think, Dominic. Benedict, I should say. We're going to give Margaret the last word, but thank you for coming along today. Councillor Gartside.
Can I just say that as a town council, we are also very keen to support the green credentials of the Throstles Nest. This is something as a town council is very important to us, and I think quite a lot of other people can come and learn from what they've tried to do here in terms of using solar panels and batteries and low energy lighting and so on. And I wish them every success, and I'll be interested to hear whether it actually does what they hope it will do, because I'm sure a lot of other businesses could follow their example. So well done.
Let's hope and pray that comes. But round of applause for Michael and his team, do you think, guys? I do. Yeah. Well done, Michael.
Cheers.
Thank you very much.
Cheers.
Cheers.